Welcome back. A Russian court has found the women's NBA star Brittney Griner guilty of drug possession and smuggling. She's been sentenced to 9 years in prison and will have to pay a fine. Well, let's go live now to the Russian capital and to our Moscow correspondent, Diana Magnay. And Diana, was she expecting a sentence like this?
Russian justice is not known as being particularly lenient, and this judge certainly proved themselves not to be. The prosecution had asked for 9.5 years, and what the judge handed down was a 9-year sentence. The maximum that she could have got is 10 years. And she had hoped that by pleading guilty to having brought cannabis oil and 2 vape cartridges into Russia, but without having had any intention of doing that, she said she'd packed in a rush, and by mistake she brought it in. It's legal in the US, and she was prescribed it, medical marijuana, for to relieve chronic illnesses, pain from chronic illness injuries that she had. So she said she brought it in accidentally, that she had no intent to break Russian law, but nevertheless, the court has handed down really quite a heavy sentence, 9 years and a 1 million ruble fine, which is about £13,000. Brittney Griner, a few hours ago, had the opportunity to say a few final words where she apologised hugely to her fans, to her family, for what she said was an honest mistake. Let's just take a listen to what she said.
My parents taught me 2 important things. 1, take ownership for your responsibilities, and 2, to work hard for everything that you have. That's why I pled guilty to my charges. I understand everything that's being said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian laws.
So what happens next? It doesn't necessarily mean that Brittney Griner will go to jail for the next 9 years, because already there is discussion of a possible prisoner swap underway. And rather unusually, the United States, Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, asked Russia to do a prisoner exchange of Brittney Griner and another US national, Paul Whelan, who actually holds British citizenship as well, and Canadian and Irish, whether those two could be exchanged for a notorious Russian arms dealer who's been in a US jail for the last 13 years, Victor Bout, and he's meant to be serving 26 years. Now, the Kremlin has hit back, saying that it doesn't want these kinds of negotiations done in public, criticising what it called megaphone diplomacy, but we understand that there is quite a lot of intense discussion going on behind the scenes about how to get those 2 US nationals back. We understand that Russia is asking for it to be a more fair swap of 2 for 2 rather than just Victor Bout, and there are various other names on the tables. But as obviously this is an incredibly tense time between US and Russia, so those negotiations are going to be fraught. But interestingly, we did see already in April another prisoner swap take place, a US Marine exchanged for a Russian pilot who'd been in a US jail for quite a long time. So I don't think hope is gone for Brittney Griner and for Paul Whelan. But I think there will be some pretty intense discussions going on behind the scenes for the next few weeks. It's one of those things that these prisoner swaps happen, and we won't know that they are happening until they're done. But there are certainly a lot of families and fans, especially of Brittney Griner, who are hoping that that deal is done.
Absolutely. Diana, thank you very much. That's Diana Magnay there, our Moscow correspondent. Well, actually, we've just had some updates coming in now. President Joe Biden has just released a statement calling that sentence, a 9-year prison sentence, as unacceptable. And he also goes on to call on Russia to immediately release Brittney Griner, who's just been sentenced to 9 years.